Frank deleted this earlier today. Don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw that he posted it. I was gonna react to it on stream, but then he deleted it. All right, thanks for the re-upload. I'll take a look now. Thanks for the donation, bald-pilled hunchback.
Yeah, out of all the things I've been through, guys, I would have never expected a botched eye surgery would put me out of business. Basically, all my savings, everything I've worked for the past, all of these years of running my business, every day of my life for like 9 years at this point, all gone in a few surgeries. So go figure, you know. We tried the fundraisers, we tried a few different things, but I'm basically so shadow banned that I think the only people seeing my videos are already my current customers, and like I can only ask you guys to support me so much. So hopefully we can make it through these next few months and eventually try to get some compensation for what this guy did to my face and get paid back and remediated. But in the meantime, these chargebacks have absolutely destroyed me. You know, if I wasn't losing $2,000 a week in chargebacks, then I'd obviously be in a much better financial position. So these secret society members, Freemasons, Illuminati, whatever various groups have, you know, been taking a few people every week and placing between $1,000 and $2,000 worth of chargeback orders on my business every week. And to be very clear, these people paid for product. The product was delivered on their doorstep. They did not contact me. They then proceeded to file a chargeback, and the bank sided with them. So they received perfectly good product. There's photographic evidence of it on the FedEx tracking website in front of their door, and they filed a chargeback and got their money back anyway. If they did this to a grocery store, they'd be put in handcuffs by the local police department. But since they're doing it against a non-secret society-owned business, they get to steal money from me. That's how the world works. There's people in the club, there's people not in the club. Any sort of excuse or governing body.
I wonder if he threatens somebody in this video. That's usually why he deletes these.
Or justification in between is just to try to tell you some fantasy story to get you to not realize what the truth is. These people are organized and harassing my business, and I actually just filmed a whole 15 minutes of me reading these people's names, their addresses, where they live, and the amount of money they stole from me. But that's not actually legal until I publish this into a court case. So we did file a court case in the federal district court with the first 70 people. This here is a new list that I have to publish a court case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish another court case this week or next week, and I will happily read.
Doesn't he mean file? What does he mean publish?
Read every single one of your names, your addresses, the amount of money you've stolen from me, and provide a FedEx tracking number so these people can see the package in front of your doorstep. I was going to post a video of doing that today, but I think the video would get taken down for doxing. I could do that with that first court case, but I don't have that list in front of me now, and I'd like to do it to everyone at once. You know, we're out, you know, I think at least $50,000, $60,000, a very considerable amount of money. And this doesn't include the mistakes and the missed orders and all the stuff that I have paid for, but this is probably 10 times worse. Like the order mistakes, the missing items, the lost or damaged packages from FedEx, broken eggs, whatever it is, that accounts for maybe 10% of the value of these chargebacks and what these people are doing to me. So that's very, people have tried to bring that up to say I'm lying and stuff like, oh, well, the orders were damaged or these people deserve their money back. No, I always compensate people for their orders. If there's any issue or there's any damaged package, it's fine. But that's why we have very specific refund policies to prevent people from trying to scam me. And every order has a slip in it that says, okay, if there's an issue with your order, immediately take a photo and send it to us. And I'm not going to go too much into details, but you know, sometimes a person will leave the package out on their doorstep for 2 days and then try to get their money back. So there's a whole bunch of things, but that has nothing to do with what is going on here. These people received the product that they paid for. There's a photograph from FedEx of the package at their door, and the bank and Shopify side with them. Why? To me, I don't know. That's unbelievable. So at some point, maybe I'm going to have to get off Shopify and sue Shopify. I don't know. I've already sued these people. I have lawsuits filed against Shopify. What am I going to file lawsuits against the credit card companies? Now, the point is, all these judges are against me. I think I filed at least 20 or 30 cases in various federal and state courts at this point, and not one case has gotten past the filing. And every single time the judge does a preliminary evaluation of the claims and dismisses the case. I don't even get to serve the other person and get a fair trial. So the justice system is completely disgusting.
We've seen how he files these complaints to courts. Like, he says insane unhinged shit, then the judge just doesn't care. Or he files it in the wrong fucking court. Like, I don't know why he doesn't just hire a lawyer. He clearly has the money. Like, he just spent, like, what, around 50 grand at least on that LA trip? Like,
the only thing I can do is come on here and continue to ask you guys for help. And even then, I'm shadow banned, and these same people that are stealing money from me through these chargebacks are the ones that are shadow banning and censoring my YouTube channel. I mean, I never wanted to have to stoop down to their level, but I have no problem having people hand out flyers of my face in Los Angeles. I guarantee they'll lose more money in 1 week of me doing that than they ever have in doing this chargeback nonsense on my business. This is completely ridiculous and disgusting. These people paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for these surgeries. I hand out flyers for a week out there. I guarantee you they lose hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And it's gotten to that point. It's gotten to that point. I'm going to calculate how much money they stole from me through those chargebacks. I'm going to take out a new credit card or get a line of credit, whatever it is, and I'm going to spend that amount of money in handing out flyers for what happened to my face. And I might also hand out flyers advertising to my business, explaining, hey, these secret society owned supermarkets.
He's going to take out debt to hand out flyers.
Are censoring and shadow banning me. So please go to frankiesstrangemeat.com and order from my business. And I think we got at least, 20 to 30 weeks worth of payroll here. So maybe these people will finally learn their lesson and stop placing charges. What am I going to stoop down to that level? Am I going to hire people to place chargebacks against? Am I going to go to my followers and say, hey guys, go place orders?
Do you think Tufano is actually getting mass trolled with chargebacks, or is it that Tufano sends shit products that are rotten or inedible for one reason or another and Tufano refuses to refund?
I'm sure there's a mix of both. It can't all just be people who are trying to scam him. And he even admits that he fucks up orders constantly. So, he's even given, like, very complicated instructions on his website for ordering that no one's going to follow. So I'm sure it's, like, a mix of the two. And it probably leans more into, Frank being incompetent. Thanks for the donation, though, retard. CDG donate $2. You don't understand. He's going to print enough flyers to hand out to every citizen of China, Europe, India, and entire North American continent. Well, I guess he can do that and waste his money and be even more broke. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
On all these other businesses. Go to every other meat. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say go to every other meat business online, place an order on every single one of them, and then file a chargeback. Imagine that. Imagine if 1,000 of my followers went to all, how many dozens of other meat businesses on there. Imagine that. Imagine if we actually did what these people did. Thousands and thousands of orders across all other meat businesses, and then they all filed chargebacks. But you know what I bet? I bet the payment providers and I bet the credit cards for those secret society-owned businesses aren't going to side with the customer. Who knows? I have these chargebacks. I have people scamming me left and right. Half the vendors or half the people you try to do business with as a small business are just out to screw you and scam you in any way possible. It's completely ridiculous and disgusting. And that's really the only way these people are able to stay in business and maintain control is because they control all the platforms. You know, why is someone able to sell a product for more money than me and it's lower quality and they have poor customer service? It's because they control all the sales.
He has fucking terrible customer service.
Platforms. I've had enough of this, guys. I don't know what to do. You know, I'm very close to declaring personal bankruptcy next week, and then just trying to keep the LLC and business operating. The lawsuits and the court stuff doesn't really matter because
he may be trying to file for bankruptcy before Paul Saladino's court case thing goes on, because then he might not need to pay him out or something.
I'm not going to get into that today, but personally, I have no assets because I'm broke. I don't have any money. You guys see me wear the same fucking clothes every day, and I'm renting a shack of a house in Pennsylvania. For what reason at this point, I don't fucking know. It's just completely ridiculous and disgusting what these people have done to me. On paper, minimum, this doctor owes me at least a few $1 million for what he did to my eyes. I still have some court hearings on that next week, and I have to go to a disability. Completely ridiculous. Maybe we'll just do a video on that next week. I have seven or eight new court cases I have to file in the state court. Maybe we can get some money back. I mean, that might really just be the only solution, is just to pay people to hand out flyers, because all these other platforms are controlled. You know, they control the banking system, they control all the social media platforms, they control the courts. So, like, why am I continuing to, like, I'm about at the point where I'm not going to spend any more of my efforts, you know, filing these court motions and treating the court system as if there's any legitimacy to it whatsoever. It's getting to the point where I can only ask you guys for help, if not just pay people to hand out flyers and spread awareness and try to raise support for my own business. That's really the only thing we can do, is just, you know, try to get as many customers and get as much support for the meat business as possible, and try to outweigh all the negative stuff, and hopefully make it to a point where we're in a better spot. But it just seems like it's just getting worse and worse. This whole situation is ridiculous. I come back from this orbital reconstruction surgery. I'm half blind, dealing with all this business nonsense and lawsuits and chargebacks. It's just just never ends. I don't know what the point is anymore. You know, with what these evil assholes have done to me, I've probably sent at least 1,000 people to hell already. So I think I've done enough in that context. I'm pretty sure that's what these secret society members tell the lower level members to get them to do evil stuff for them. Is they say that, you know, there's no existence after this life, so, you know, what you do in this life doesn't matter. Just be as selfish as possible for yourself. That's what they tell their secret society members as the truth. But what if your life on this planet was a
This guy has schizophrenia, dude. He absolutely has schizophrenia.
test of how good of a person you were? What if?
Yeah, you'd be fucked. Your whole business is based on torturing and killing animals. If God existed, you'd be fucked.
If that's the possibility, and you spent your life doing evil things...
My next feeling, a fair bit better.
And stealing from people for your own benefit, what if you then have to come back and live 100 lives as those people who suffered? You know, think about it that way. Me, I don't want to come back here in any way whatsoever, so I'm going to do my best to be as good of a person as possible, if there is any remote possibility of that happening. I wouldn't gamble with that one. You know, imagine what's going to happen if that's a possibility. If this planet is a testing ground, and when someone like Doc passes away and meets the creator or whatever, how screwed is he? How screwed is he? I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to know. Yeah, I'm just at the point where I'm completely over it. You know, as much as I care about my employees and the people that I support, they really don't seem to appreciate me, and I feel like it's not even worth it at this point. Do they appreciate me in some capacity? Maybe. Do they know how good they have it compared to what they would be doing? Absolutely not. So, I don't know.
What an unhinged weirdo.